Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IS. Let's start our current affairs class. The class timing was 9:30, but due to some reason, some unavoidable circumstances, we delayed the timing, and now we are going to start at 11:30, and for that we regret on that. Okay. So from next day onwards, next class onwards, the class timing will be 9:30. Okay. So let's start with the major topic that we are going to discuss under today's news analysis. The first news that is going to talk about the Phule's a constant gardener of the social revolution. So here you will see that the Phule has been a very much controversial figure, but he has been considered as the social revolutionary, and he is a leading social reformers. Across the modern Indian history, you will find that the impact of the Phule has been everywhere. So he created the thoughts that yes, there is the alternative way of caste system, and he started very much criticizing the caste system in a very direct way. This was the first man who directly hit the caste system, and he was not from the upper caste or any of the Brahmin who come as the reformers. He was from the Dalit section, and he came with these type of the thought. You will see that how all this start. You will go that he born in a Mali community, and one day he was invited in a wedding of his friend, and he was the Brahmin. So what happens during the wedding procession? The family families member of the Brahmin friend start criticizing and particularly in humiliating Phule, and Phule was so much humiliated he have to left the procession itself, and he decided that yes, from now onwards I will act against the system of the caste. I will not going to accept this caste system, and I will try to bring some system that will be the alternative of the caste system. That was the main aim of the Phule. So here you will see that how revolution, social reform starts, and he thought that this is mainly due to a system where one particular section is dominating, and he came to first he visited the girls' school in the Ahmednagar, and it was missionary school, and here you will see that he also came into the contact with the Thomas Paine's Age of the Region, and it was the again, Thomas Paine is very much famous writer, and he is the one of the leading Renaissance leader of the West. When there was the Renaissance in the West, it was the Thomas Paine whose writing impacted all this course of the reforms in the Europe. So here you will see that in the Thomas Paine Age of the Region, he has criticized the Christian orthodoxy. You will find that the Christianity now seems to be so much modern, but at 200, 300 back, you will see that there was so much orthodoxy in the Christianity as well. So here you will see that the most of the theories he find from there, and he start criticizing the Hindu orthodoxy. That orthodoxy, those Rudhivadita in Hindi we say, okay. So here you will see that after that he himself, with help of his wife Savitribai Phule, he decided to open a first school for the girls, and not he doesn't stop here. He further started a night schools, and the night school particularly aiming for those who are the working and the farmers, working women, all that has been made the focus to educate them, and only after that there should be some of the social changes. You will see that all this education system that has been adopted by the Ambedkar latter. What Ambedkar gave the slogan, Ambedkar said that you should first educate, then you should be form cooperative and organization, and then agitate. So his slogan was the educate, organize and agitate. Ambedkar. Here you will see that it was started by the Phule itself. And here you will see that there was the tussle with the many other freedom fighters of the time. Those particularly from the Brahmin caste, and those who were so much criticizing the Britishers but not criticizing the caste system itself. So he fully thought that it is the British system that we can get a chance to get ourselves liberated by this caste system. So he never go directly attack the British system. He take the support of the British system. He thought that it is the British system who can educate. And later he wrote a very famous book. The name of that book is the Gulamgiri. In Gulamgiri, Phule has written that it is very much comfortable in the British Raj as compared to the Brahmin Raj. The slogan of the Phule was the I am the British Raj is much more better than the Brahmin Raj. So that was the famous slogan. So here all that has been given in this article. One more thing you should know that he later formed the Satyasodhak Samaj. Here you will find that it was created in the 1873, the Society of the Truth Seeker, and here again the main aim was the social reform, particularly aiming the women's education, again those who are from the marginalized caste, all those were brought, and they were mainly attempt to brought out of this upper caste domination. Further, you will say that he has compared the slavery of the US with the Dalits of the India. He said that even the slaves of the America, they are much in the better condition than the Indian Dalits, particularly those who are from the Ati Sudra. Okay. So here you will see that everything has been mentioned. Gulamgiri, please remember this. And Gulamgiri is the book that has been written by the Phule itself. So please remember all this thing. Even the latter it has given that he was not that much supportive of the 1857 revolt. He was thinking that this revolt is the downgrading. It is going into the reverse back, and they are going to accept the Peshwa system. And Phule was not comfortable with the Peshwa system because the Peshwa system was totally based on the Brahminical thought and the Brahminical domination. He said that if the revolt gets success, it will be the again reintroduction of the Peshwa system. So he thought that the Peshwa system is worse than the British system. Again, all this has been given here. Vision of economic upliftment and education, it was mainly coming from again, it was from the British rule. He thought that the British can create the schools and other enabling provisions so that the Dalits can take the advantage of all this thing and they can educate and they can come out of this Brahminical exploitation and the dominance. Here you will see that all that has been given, how there has been there is a conversation where he said that one of the Sudra asked that forget about the God and serve the Brahmins. If any Sudra asks about where is our religion, so the Brahmins say that you don't need to think about the gods, just serve the Brahmins. Do you think this ought to be our religion? Here you will see that many a times they promoted that it is better to go and convert yourself to the Christianity and Islam. There will be the at least there will be the less discrimination, less hierarchy into that particular religious system. Okay, so here all that has been given. This is all given here. This is not my thought because this is very much provocative type of the thing that I am telling. So this has been given here. You will see that the Phule's system is the way he represented the history. It is known as the subaltern class of the history. There is a different classification of the history writing, the writing that Phule brought and he advocated, that is known as the subaltern class of the history writing. There is the right wing who write the history and they have their own perspective. There is the left wing, communist perspective, Marxist perspective. All type of the perspective have given their thought to the history. Next news that we are going to take is the Tanzania opposition leader Lissu charged with the treason following the arrest. Here you just know where is the location of the Tanzania. So let's open your map and locate Tanzania in the map. Just give me 1 second. Open Africa. In Africa you will find the Tanzania. Where is Tanzania? Please reply, those who are watching online. Where is this is Tanzania, and you will see that the capital Dar es Salaam. Okay, so here it is the capital and it is the coastal city, and Dodoma. Dodoma is the capital and this is the major city, Dar es Salaam. So please rectify it. The capital of Tanzania is the Dodoma and the famous city Dar es Salaam. Here it is the dominance of the, particularly it was being dominated by the paramilitary force of the Tanzania's opposition leader. You can locate the surrounding countries of the Tanzania. You will see that this is the coastal country. You will get the Kenya, Victoria Lake, famous lake, the largest lake of the Africa, not the world. So it is situated and it is bordering with the Tanzania. So please remember that. Okay. Here you will see that the Burundi and Rwanda. Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi. These all remains in the news because there is the war. They are fighting a war with the Democratic Republic of Congo. So these are all remains in the some of the conflict. It could be the ethnic conflict. It could be the political conflict. Here you will see that in Congo, the political conflict is going on. Here again, it is the political conflict between the two ethnicity. Next news. Palau stand with the Taiwan until death do us part, say president. Here you will see that the Taiwan and mainland China, there is the always tussle. There is always claim that who represent the real China. Now it is very much clear that it is the mainland China that is represent the China, and many years after the independence, just after the civil war in 1949, there was the claim by the Taiwan that it's represent the real China and mainland China represents the mainland China. So the mainland China, again, they had the policy that those countries who are going to recognize Taiwan as independent country, they will not have a formal channel of diplomacy with the China, and they will not recognize that countries as well. So here you will see that the Palau, again, there are very few nations who clearly standing with the Taiwan, even EUS that recognize the mainland China as the claiming of the China. So here you will see that the Palau is the very few of the countries and it is situated in the Oceania. So let's open this area of the Australia, New Zealand where Palau is situated. You can see that. Give me 1 second to open Palau. So is it visible to you, this Palau? This is a small island and Taiwan here, close relationship. So please remember this. Next news, again we will locate this into map. This is there is a disaster into the Dominican Republic. So any one of you can answer where is location of the Dominican Republic? Please respond. Okay, so please open the map of North America and where you please locate in North America the area of Caribbean Sea, and here in the Caribbean Sea you will find the Dominican Republic. So here Dominican Republic, and you will find that this is situated east of the Cuba. So here it is very much close to this is part of the Caribbean Sea. Here there has been a massive, there is the collapse of a wall where a celebration, a function was happening, and there was a famous singer of Dominican Republic who was singing, and there was huge crowd. And now the death toll has been reached to the 218. The death of the 218 people have been there. Main singer also died. So this only you should know the location. The UPSC can ask the location. And what is the capital? Let's see what is the capital of this. Capital here it has not mentioned. The capital is Domico Tango. Such thing is there. I forget the name. Next news, US Defense Secretary moots plans for the troops to revive Panama base. So where is the Panama? Panama is the isthmus. There is the two concepts that you should know, that one is the strait and one is the isthmus. What is the difference? What is the definition of isthmus and what is the definition of the strait? Anyone please reply on the your chat panel. Strait that connects two water bodies. Always we study like the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday we studied. Let's locate in the map. So normally what we see that there is the gap between two large body. For example, here you will see that this land and this part of land, this part of the land and this part of the land. This is separated by a water body. This area that connects this water body with this water body, this is known as the strait. So strait separate two land body and connects two water body. Okay, is it clear? Connection of the water body. This is the, here you will find the Oman, Gulf of Oman, and here you will find the Persian Sea, Gulf of Persia. So here you will find two water body and it is connected by the Strait of Hormuz. Isthmus that connects the land and separate the water body. A very great example of that is this Panama. Panama is country and it is also known as the isthmus because this South America continent and this is the American continent. This is connected by this Panama isthmus. So isthmus that connect the land and separate the water body. So this is the main difference. You should know this is important for the geography. Again, even as anti-corruption protests raged, rural Serbia has not turned on the Vucic. So here you will see that the one of the leader against that there is the protest for the corruption charges, allegation of the corruption. But here you will see the location of Serbia. So here you should be clear that the Serbia, this is the part of the Europe. Please again locate in your map. Where is Serbia? So in this map, let me show you Serbia. Okay, so here you will find that Serbia is situated here. This 12 is Serbia. 6, 7, this is the Bosnia. So 12 you will find that the Serbia and 6, 7 Bosnia, Herzegovina and Croatia. So you will find that the 12 is touching border with the 6 and 7, here 30 and 31. 30 and 31, again you will see 30 and 31, the countries. 30, Kosovo and Montenegro. These are the countries, they are very less publicly known, so please you should know all this thing. Next important news, again Tanzania opposition leader, the repetition of the same thing. Next news, here it is given that a bus in Phule next to the Club de Parqueiros, this is the Portuguese word, on the shore of Rio de la Plata rivers during a 24-hour strike of all transportation. So these are all talking about in Argentina there is the workers movement, and workers movement, it is due to the chaotic and a type of the rule that is going on by the President Milei, and President Milei is asking the loan waiver from the IMF. So please see here, loan waiver from the IMF. The situation is Argentina. This all we are talking about the Argentina, and this river is situated into the Argentina. So here we are discussing about the situation. There is the economic crisis in the Argentina, and there is the protest that is going on. So again, you should locate where is the Argentina and what is the capital of Argentina, what is the surrounding area of the Argentina. So please open this South American map. Here you will see the Argentina, and Argentina, here you will see, once we discuss that, there is the dispute of the Falkland with Argentina. Falkland comes under the sovereignty of UK, United Kingdom. Recently there was a referendum, and referendum supported whom? Referendum supported UK. The people, 90% of the people supported that they want to live with the UK, not with the Argentina, and that's why there was the war, and ultimate claim was of the UK. So here you will see that the economic situation is not going on, and the reason is clear why the Falkland opted to remain with the UK is this. Next news, there is in the New Zealand, there is a bill that was the treaty, the bill principle of the treaty of the Waitangai bill. So this wanted to get rid of the tribal people of indigenous tribal people of the New Zealand, and those indigenous people are known as the Maori. 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 So please remember, if UPSC asks or anywhere it is asked that the Maori tribes, they belong from the New Zealand. This is important. So bill has not been passed, and that's why they are celebrating that. Next news, RTI Act will not restrict disclosure, say Minister. So here the news is about that there has been the change and amendment in the recently passed Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and there has been the exemption clause. Exemption clause means some of the information personally associated with the officials, associated with any of the subsidies or any of the project will be not disclosed. So here the thing is that the activists who are the information right activists, they are claiming that this type of the amendment will further dilute the power under the RTI Act. Right to Information Act was brought after the so much struggle, and it was brought in 2005, and this article brought the Central Information Commission at the union level and State Information Commission at the state level. So here you will find that in 2019 there was the amendment in this Central Information Commission Act, and after that we have seen that there has been the dilution. So before that, if you will go that what is the composition of the Central Information Commission? If we talk about the Central Information Commission, so there will be the one chairman. We are talking about the Central Information Commission. As per this act, we brought the chairman who will be the head, and there will be not more than 10 other members. So you will see here, if you will go for the Central Information Commission, what is the membership? The primary role is act upon the complaint from the individual who have been unable to submit information request to Central Public Information Officer or the State Public Information Officer. So here it was brought to strengthen democracy, because democracy is only strengthened if there is free flow of the information, and only then we can make the informed decision. But there has been such type of the exemption that create the hurdle in reaching or accessing information. You will find that gradually it was diluted. So one more thing you should know, who elect the Chief Information Commissioner. So for the selection of the Chief Election Commission, it is appointed by the President. That is very much simple. But there is the committee who recommend to the President for the selection and the appointment. So that committee is constituted by the three members. One is Prime Minister, everyone know, leader of opposition. The third is a, a minister, cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister. So again here you will see that the biasness in the favor of the government. So here leader of opposition will be member and union cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister. So please remember that this can be asked. Previously, the tenure of the Chief Election Commissioner was the 5 years, but further it was diluted by the 2019 amendment. By that, we have given the power to decide about the tenure and the salary to the whom? Salary to the government. Government is totally in control of that, and that's why we have seen that for many years there was no appointment of the chief information commissioner. So such type of the thing that has been criticized and remain in public domain again by this digital personal data protection act has brought again that further dilution will be there. The Supreme Court rights to privacy judgment in 2017 which held right to informational privacy as fundamental rights under Article 21. So the government is talking about the if there will be the information that is personal to the any of the officials, that will be the violation of this right to privacy. But the activist is telling that there should be the balance between the right to privacy and the right to transparency and information. And in many ways, this right to information is also integral part of Article 21 itself. So if there is the conflict situation, there should be the balance. And the activists are telling that the on name of the protecting the right to privacy, what government want to hide the information that is needed into the public domain, and by that there will be the less transparency. If there will be less transparency, then there will be the less accountability, and it further result into the corruption cases in the public domain and by the our executive. So all this thing has been discussed here. Next news that we are going to discuss is the India's decision to cancel transshipment facility to Bangladesh. So this has been in the news. There has been the deteriorating situation and the relationship between India and Bangladesh. And one of the decision by the India is that we are not going to provide the transshipment facility to the those traders of the Bangladesh, particularly at our ports. So it has been a negative setback for the Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has not given even given any of the its reaction, that they are just stating that the we try to manage by ourselves and our export by ourselves. So this is the one of the example you can write that how the relationship is deteriorating. India's on Wednesday announced the withdrawal of the transshipment facility it granted to the Bangladesh for exporting various items to the West Asia, Europe, and various other countries except Nepal and Bhutan. So here you will see that this is the situation, and by that there will be the impact of the trade and export of the Bangladesh that has been here mentioned. Okay. Next news, center to pay more to the PM-POSHAN scheme. So what is the POSHAN scheme? POSHAN is just rebranding of the midday meal, and midday meal it was rebranded as the POSHAN. Prime Minister POSHAN, Prime Minister POSHAN. What is this? It was mainly aiming to improve the nutrition level of the cooked food given to the students, particularly from class 1 to 8. This is the same thing that was given under the midday meal. The one thing improvement is that the midday meal was totally based on the calorie, how much calorie you are giving. But now this portion scheme has brought the nutrition level enhancement. And nutrition level means the needed elements such as the iron need, iodine need, magnesium need, all this has been brought under this, how we can improve all these things. So this is the centrally sponsored scheme. Mostly it was 60:40 that has been given for the payment. However, you will see that the many states who can contribute by themselves and they can increase the expenditure into the this portion scheme. So here you will see that the further addition is the Bal Vatikas. Okay, so here you will see that the even those who are the preschooling student, they are also provided the such nutrition of food so that their nutrition level could be improved. Supreme Court judgment on the Tamil Nadu governor address a constitutional silence. So here already we have discussed in the detail that before that there was the lacuna, there was the silence on the time period when the governor should take decision while they giving the assent. The same thing has been there for the defection law as well. So here you will see that during the defection law there was one of the case in 2020 and the name of the case was the Keshav Megh Singh case, and under that again the Supreme Court said that the speaker should take decision within the 3 months. Same it was for the governors 1 to 3 months where it has been asked from the governor to take again in the speakers now it has been asked that please take decision in the 3 months as well. So these are the things that is where the Supreme Court is filling the lacuna, filling the silence of the constitution that has been discussed here. The next news is the issue of the delimitation population based process जनसंख्या आधारित परिसीमन प्रक्रिया से जुड़ी समस्या. Here it is mainly discussed in this news that how there has been the debate on the delimitation on the basis of the population. You should remember that delimitation at the parliament level, the power comes under Article 82, and at the state level, it is Article 170. So the debate is that as per the democracy, there should be the one man, one vote, one value. But the thing is that there is also federal structure of our constitution, and federalism that is the core principle of our constitution. So how we can balance the two core principles? One is democracy where the population matter. One is the federalism where the right of the individual states also matter. Here is the main debate that is going on. When the particular state who has the more number of the population, more population, they are going to get more number of seats. So here you will see that this is disincentivizing those states who take the positive measure and try to improve their condition and the education level and family planning of their population. So here the alternative has been given that there has been the data that has been given in that there are some chances that there has been the delimitation and the change in the seat. For example, there was in 1957 when the seat was increased from the 489 to 494. Again in 1967 there was the increase in number of seats. Further it was increased into the 1997, and the present level that reflect is that level of the 1977. So here you will see that every time there is some of the state who get some benefits and other get the loss, it is due to the representation. So here you will see that it is asking that there should be the change. It should not be based on the population. There should be some other criteria that should be also brought in this. Like the finance commission that is always constituted after every 5 years, and that gives there should be the sharing of the revenue on the basis of different criteria that about the population as well as the forest area, governance, the population in the backward region, the forested area, all that is brought under this finance commission consideration. The same type of the things should be brought in the delimitation as well. Here there has been mention into the difference in the constituency level, as there has been mentioned that the many of the constituency in India, for example Lakshadweep, that represent there is the one MP and the electors are the 760. You will see that the many of the district where the population represent the more than 29 lakh electors, Malkazgiri district constituency. So here it is given that how much difference between the one district to the other district on the basis of the number of electors, those who are going to to give the vote. So one MP represents in one district 57,000, he becomes the MP. And in many of the UP, you will find that this is not represented by the even the MLAs in the UP. MLAs represent near about the 4-5 lakh of the electors. Now the average electors represented by the each MP is near about 18 lakh. So this is given here. So here the discussion is that there should be the rectification not on the population level, but also some criteria should be included so that there could be the better improvement into the delimitation, and delimitation reflect the true sense of the federalism as well as the democracy that has been discussed here. Next news, particularly this is the interview that has been brought. This is talking about are the existing mechanism effective in combating judicial corruption. So here you will see that the judicial corruption has been brought into the limelight after there has been a case into the Delhi High Court where one of the judges in the house of that judges, there was a sack of the currencies that has been found, and after that this has been in the news. The one thing that has been discussed, that how we can manage the judicial independence with the judicial accountability. There should be the accountability of the judges. Judges should be accountable to the people, that how they are living their personal life, how they are treating the people, those cases. Because if there was a famous case recently, the judgment came near about 10-50 days back. That was the Nirmal Yadav case. In the Nirmal Yadav case, 15 years back, there was a case in that there was a judge named Nirmal Kaur. So some person came by the bike and they threw a bag of the 15 lakh rupees. So they didn't thought that why they have throw that. Later it was found that there was the other judge, and the name of that judge was the Nirmal Yadav. So they threw the money at the Nirmal Kaur, but it was about to delivered at the Nirmal Yadav. So it was the dealing between the judge, and there was one of the case where the verdict she was going to pronunciate. So there was a dealing that yes, give me money, I will give in the favor of you. My verdict will be in the favor of you, and that's why after that there was the such type of the thing that is continuously in the public domain. So there was the talk about that we should brought the judicial accountability bill, but it was not passed, and again later it was the judicial appointment commission act that was brought, that was also declared null and void by the Supreme Court. All this thing is discussed here. So here it has brought that yes, there is need for the in-house procedure, improvement in in-house procedure that is followed by the judiciary if there is any of the cases. So in-house procedure is started, and it is by the judges of that particular high court, and it is later referred to the judges of the Supreme Court. But the process here, it is discussed that the one other thing that is a solution for this is the impeachment. But the process of impeachment is so much difficult that it is very difficult to execute. Till now, in the history of the India, post-independence India, we have now lived for 75 years, but not a single impeachment has been done because the process is so high, and the judges take the advantage of that. It has been discussed here. Next news analysis that has been taken here is the democracies in the decline. So here it has been discussed that the democracy across the world has been declined, and this scenario is started in 1980s. So here you will see that the continuously decline in continuously decline in the democracy, and here you will see that the different form of democracy has been mentioned. Liberal democracy. Here it will see that a good form of the democracy where the freedom of speech and the freedom of express your view has been fully given. However, you will see that there has been the electoral autocracy that has been in the rise. In the electoral autocracy, few of the strong people, they control whole of the decision making in that society, and even the election is not free and fair. Here it has mentioned that the just electoral democracy where it is ensured that the election is taking place on a regular basis, but the again there is the partisanship that is seen here. Next news that we are going to discuss is the Rana extradited to the Delhi, arrested by the NIA. So here this is the main news of the 2 days. Who is the Tanawwar Hussain Rana? Tahawwar Hussain Rana. Tahawwar. So this person was one of the conspirator in the Mumbai attack case. Main conspirator was the Headley. So Headley has not been extradited because there has been the exemption given by the US, but it was the Tahawwar Hussain Rana that has been extradited to the India. So you should know that the India and US have the extradition treaty. What is the extradition? Extradition means if a person has done the crime in other countries and now he is in your countries, so this is the process by that you arrest. This is the arrest that is taking place where the particular in that particular country where that person is residing, and again they hand over that person to the that country where the crime is happened. Crime has been committed by uh, that particular criminal or the that particular personalities. Here you will see that the same thing is happening, and you will see that this has been done after near about 16 years. It started in 2009, and particularly now we have done that. So what are the benefit we can get? The first benefit we can get is that at least we can make the pressure on the Pakistan. We can see that we can prove that the yes Pakistan roles at the global level, how they support the terrorist activities. Okay. Beside that, it could be the justice for those victim of the Mumbai attack. So this will be also resolved. So you should know that this extradition process, and here the definition is given downward. The other important news that we are going to take is from, just give me 1 minute. Again, the same Thawar Hussain Rana extradition part. Here it has been discussed that what is the process. It is the NIA that will lose the case. It was the in 2009 that NIA was established. So you should know about the NIA, National Investigation Agency. So whenever there is any of the terrorist activities, it is the NIA that takes the lead in investigation, and its jurisdiction is all across the India. Initially, it was just for the terrorist cases, but now the jurisdiction has been expanded into the other areas as well. So here it is given that it was formed by the National Investigation Act of 2008. It exposed major gap in India's intelligence and counter-terrorism when there was the attack in Mumbai in 2008. And here you will see that this is a dedicated agency to handle a terror-related challenges, but now its jurisdiction has been increased. It also take the cases or the cases that is associated with the unlawful activities, UAPA, that is very famous, and Atomic Energy Act. You will see that this act itself has the separate schedule that define the crime that will be investigated by the National Investigation Agency. So these are the important things you should know. It has the pan-India jurisdiction and doesn't have the special permission from the state. There is no need. And also, there has been the so what are the jurisdiction? Here it is given: terrorist activities, bomb blast, hijacking aircraft and ships, attack on the nuclear installation. Its headquarter is into the Delhi. Where is the headquarter? Headquarter is into the New Delhi. That is simple. This is a structure that is given, how this hierarchy is going on. And here the function again that has been mentioned. Here you will see that there has been the increase into the jurisdiction human trafficking. In the case of the human trafficking, circulation of the counterfeit currency, manufacture and sales of the prohibited arms, all that comes under the jurisdiction of the NIA. So please remember all these things. Now India have the one act that deal with the extradition. This is the Extradition Act of 1962. And beside that, India have to make the agreement and treaties with the other states, near about the 49 nations whom with we have the extradition treaties, and the US is one of the parts. So please remember, because this extradition is possible because India and US have the extradition treaties between them. One more thing you should remember, the extradition, all the affairs that is being dealt by the Ministry of External Affairs. Many a times we think that is the Ministry of Home Affairs because internal security is dealt by that. But this extradition treaty, that is dealt by the Ministry of External Affairs, and this is mainly done under the Consular, Passport and Visa Division of the Ministry of External Affairs. This is important, so please remember this. A cut in time, the RBI have cut the repo rate, so you should know what is the repo rate. What is the repo rate? This is the, anyone, please reply. So mainly it is associated with the Reserve Bank of India Monetary Policy Committee. So what is the numbers under that? There is the Monetary Policy Committee is formed. It is combination of the government. There are 3 members from the government side. There is the 3 members from the RBI. So it is the chaired by the RBI governor, and deputy chair is also part, and one of the nominee that is done by the board of the RBI. So this is the 3 part, 3 from the government side. They are the nominated. And here they try to balance between the inflation and the growth, development and economic growth. Okay, so all these things you should know. So this is all about from the today's news. Here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.